Hi, this is part 14 of Auth0 tutorial. In this video, we are going to talk about how app connect with API with Auth0. In previous video, we demonstrate how we add authentication to our API, and we create an application as well. So now let's connect the front end with the backend. We have import HTTP client. Before we call the backend, we need to get the token first. With the token, we can pass the authentication in our backend. So first, let's get the access token. So this code is to get access token silently. This method is implemented in SPA SDK, but we can still use it here. The next step is to call the backend. Let's create a method first to call the public backend. This is the method to call our backend public endpoint. You can see this is the URL we used in last video. We just console the response. We also need to write another method to call the private backend endpoint. So you could see we declare the header and the options, and then we call our private endpoint. Copy the route. We use the options we defined previously and console the response. Now let's add some buttons. So after the user login, they could see these two buttons. The flow is after the user login, they get the token, and with that token, we can call our private backend. Let's go to our website. Let's try to log in. You can see we already log in and we get our token. Now, if we want to call our backend, we first try the public one. You can see we got our backend response. One thing we need to mention here is we need to add CORS in our API, which is pretty simple. So in the startup, we just add use CORS, and in the service, add CORS. Now let's try to call the private backend. You can see we got this message. So that's how front end link with backend. One thing I need to mention here is in your application, you have to configure the audience. That's how your backend recognize the token. And generally, we will add scope as well. With the scope, you can get access token, ID token, and potentially refresh token as what we shown in the authentication code flow with PKCE. We've already gone through instruction on Auth0 and basic implementation on API and app with Auth0. In the next few videos, we will talk about rules, hooks, and actions. We will talk about how rules work in your flow first. Thank you for watching.